You're listening to Greetings from Austin. I'm Alisa.
And I'm Jenny.
We're here to share all things lifestyle, real estate, design, and more.
As Austin natives and agents with combined 28 years experience, we're excited to bring you new episodes weekly.
Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Good. So today we wanted to share a little bit about ourselves, our careers, our families, what we like to do for fun. So let's jump in. And Jenny, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about how you started your real estate career?
Yeah, I started real estate in 2001. It's really my only real career that I've ever had. Well, I'm a builder also, but I worked on a dive boat before that and lifeguard. So
It's a real job. But
but a career, I
Yeah.
should say. It's my first and only career, well, besides building.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would ask me back then, would I be in it 20 something years later, I would have said, no way. I mean, I wouldn't have, I guess I just didn't envision such a long career, but I really enjoyed it and just took it further. So about 2005, I became an investor as well. And so those have kind of ridden off of each other, being in real estate and being an investor and then becoming a remodeler, builder. It's all just intertwined and has made me just become more valuable of a realtor for sure for clients. Tons of free information they get out of me.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I got started working as an assistant to someone before I got my license. And I did that for a little less than a year and then tested and got my license. I've been licensed for about 6 years at the time of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't really think that I wouldn't have thought I would have chose real estate looking back. And it kind of just
Chose
happened.
you.
Yeah, it happened across it. I worked for a family who one of them was in real estate, commercial real estate. And he was like, just give it a try. You should try it. And so I decided to give it a shot, and I'm really happy that I did. I feel like it is in my family. Like my grandpa was in land development, and then my dad's side of the family owned a family business building houses in the 80s. So, it's there, and I always heard about real estate, but just never really thought I would have chosen it for myself. But I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband was a loan officer and his parents owned a mortgage company, and I probably without them suggesting I be in real estate, I probably would not be in real estate today.
Yeah.
But my dad is a builder and has built thousands and thousands of houses in Houston. And my stepfather, ex-stepfather, is a builder here in Austin. He does commercial. So he does he's done Hop Dottie and restaurants and all sorts of things. But when I was young, he built houses. And then my dad's in land development as well. So my grandfather owned a lumber company. So it was just real estate and houses has been in my blood. But I didn't think real estate. I didn't selling real estate. Not necessarily. It all kind of worked out together.
Yeah. Came together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So a lot's changed since we first started our career. And here's where we are now. So I know I talked a lot about building, but when I first started out, I was just a realtor and I'd always wanted to flip houses. And it was so exciting to me. And I figured it out. It was super scary, that first deal I did, and really got braver and braver every deal I did. That's what number one takes, is bravery. Yeah. And now I full-blown build big houses.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it really helps me, as I said earlier, just provide a lot of value, because just knowing so much about construction and remodeling, and people reach out to me a lot, just wanting my ideas and really wanting me to help them. But pretty much everyone, they either want a remodel update, or if they're building a house, it's just knowledge that everybody could use.
Yeah.
And I mainly work in Westlake and live in Westlake, and I build houses in Westlake. I just built my most current one in Dripping Springs, which is not an area that I usually build in, but I really enjoyed it. And it was a bit more of a drive for me to oversee the project, but worth it at the end for sure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that has to be different from when you first started. I feel like everybody typically starts out working anywhere and everywhere.
Yes.
And now you've, really narrowed down your
area. I do work, other areas, but I don't work. I usually refer out if it's too far, just because just driving and, or, if you'll work the area, we work together on it. Yeah. But, I just had to, time is very important and have to be efficient. And I feel like I have so much to offer in the Westlake area because I live there and have sold, quite a bit of real estate, help people move from out of town. So just, can offer, just be more on top of it when I'm working in areas that I'm close to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a perk of being in the business for longer. I think you get to curate that business in that area that you want to be in, right?
Yeah.
Which I am still more all over the place. I worked from Gerald to Euland last year.
Wow.
But
I've never been to Gerald or Euland.
I'm not surprised. They're far. One day that might change. But in the meantime, I put my podcast on and I really like it. But one of the bigger things that's different in my business now versus when I first started is teaming up with you.
Yeah. Very excited. We're a match made in heaven for sure.
I know.
We have a lot of similarities, but then we accent each other.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like when I first got started in real estate, I felt a little bit lost. I was at a brokerage that was big with limited support, and where we're at is not that at all. We have a lot of support here. It was lonely sometimes, you know. And then if you had to go out of town or you wanted to go on vacation, I just didn't have people that I could call or that I felt comfortable handing my business on to.
I worked straight through so many vacations, and I'm very upset with myself about that. But I was so controlling and didn't think that anyone could do as well as I could. But the truth is you have to take those breaks, and it's so nice to have someone that you can trust that will do business just like you. So we were kind of thrown into our first deal together. I was out of town, and these people came in from California to look at houses, and you showed them and wrote the offer, and they got the house, and it was just amazing. And I had to trust you because I had no choice, and it went beautifully.
Yeah, you were literally on a ski lift when I talked to you about it. You're like, I don't know, just do whatever you think you should do.
Yeah, you were like, do you want to ride it? I was like, I can't.
Yeah. Which obviously it's not like, we've both done this before, and I think we work a lot alike, which is helpful. I think it's helpful for our clients too, because they don't feel confused.
Well, I know the expectation. I know what they're going to get from you, and you're right. Just to know that is so comforting, because like I said in the past, I had a hard time letting go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I was so afraid that someone wouldn't take the same care of my people that I would.
Yeah. Yeah, so this has been really nice. This is like an exciting change.
Yes.
From looking back at the beginning of my career to now.
Yes.
It's awesome. So between the two of us, we've lived all over Austin. We're both Austin natives.
Yeah, which is very rare.
Yeah.
I came here in 3rd grade, but you might have been born here.
I was born in your neighborhood that you live in now.
Oh, wow. What street?
Mecca Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's very cool. Well, so I grew up for a short time in several years in Westlake.
Yeah.
And then now I'm back in Westlake with my kids, raising my kids and having them go to the schools. Mm-hmm. But
And then in between growing up in Westlake and being back there, where did you live?
So we moved to Austin when I was in 3rd grade. I lived in Lake Travis area. Then we came to Westlake, I think in 4th or 5th grade. And then middle school, my mom moved back to Houston. So I did not want to be there. I went for a short time. But I ended up coming back to Austin, going to boarding school, living at the school. It was St. Stephen's, really good college prep school. Mm-hmm. And then I went straight to UT and lived on campus. And then after that, I left for a couple years out of state, and then came back when I worked on a dive boat.
Yes.
And came back, and my husband and I lived up north and ended up buying our first house in Schofield Farms.
Okay.
And so I became the #1 realtor in Schofield for many years. And then we ended up moving to Westlake. It was really funny because I had no intention of moving to Westlake, but I found a remodel project and we ended up moving into it. And that's where it all started.
Okay, so you remodeled your first house while you lived in it.
No, I had already remodeled several
Okay.
houses. Crestview was a huge area that I loved and did several houses in. But this was my first house to remodel in Westlake.
Okay.
And it was going to be a flip at first. And then we just decided, hey, why not live there? It was across the street from the school, Eanes Elementary, and it just made sense. Our kids were about to start kindergarten.
Yeah.
And it just made sense. And so from then on, we've moved several times in houses that I built, but or remodeled, but we still live in Westlake.
Okay. So for me, I was born off of Cuernavaca, like Westlake area. Then moved to Spicewood, and I grew up in Spicewood, really. And then moved back to Manchac. A lot of my family is from the Manchac area, Buda area, and a lot of them still live there now.
Okay.
So moved back there to Manchac. Then moved in with Eric and lived off of South Lamar for a little while. And then up north off of Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah. And back down south to Manchac again.
So you're a South Austinite.
I am. I can't get away from it.
It's different
I don't
cultures
love-
for sure. I mean, different feel.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Mm-hmm. But all my family's there, so I feel like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I felt really far away from my family when I lived North Austin, and I see them a lot. So now I'm in Buda. My dad is like 5 minutes away. My grandma's 5 minutes away. I have an aunt 5 minutes away.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. So we love it there
Yeah.
for various reasons, but we're really enjoying where we live.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, I enjoy Westlake a lot, and it's a great place to raise kids. I don't know how long we'll stay after they're gone, but it's a lot of people do. It's kind of the cycle of how it works. They have their kids, they graduate, and they move, but not always.
Yeah. Okay, so Jenny, what do you really like about real estate?
Well, number one, I love the people. I feel like we get to work with really cool people from all walks of life, and it's just like I get so many of them turn into friends, and I love. I wanted to be a social worker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in college, and I went to the counselor, and I started pre-med, didn't really make it, and then I didn't know what to do from there. I needed to switch, and I wanted to be a social worker, so I went to the counselor, and she just kind of advised me against it, which I'm really glad. I mean, I think it's amazing, but I just would have taken so much home with me that I'm glad. I don't think I was the right personality for that. But I feel like I'm sort of in a service. Well, it's very much a service industry, but helping families, just help them through some of the really hard things, like moving from across the country to a very new area where they know no one, and helping them fit in and get their kids all situated, and I really enjoy that part of it. And the second part of it that I really love is seeing really cool houses. I learned so much from looking at like new construction and just different design styles. I get to show some pretty amazing houses.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm kind of the same. I love meeting new people. I feel like because we both have lived here for so long, you probably feel the same way. I really like working with people who aren't really all that familiar with the city. I think that's where I get to really shine.
Yeah.
Because I know so much about Austin and have lived in various areas. I think it's sometimes hard when you haven't had a lot of experience with all the different areas of Austin to help people find the right fit when they're not familiar. So I love that part about it. I also love the process. I'm a checklist person, you know that.
Yeah.
So I love, getting under contract and going through that checklist and helping my clients feel informed. I know it's crazy.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's why we work.
I know. It's great.
Yeah. So that's another one of my favorite parts. And then of course, like you, showing houses, especially when they're something unique or different that I haven't seen a bunch of times.
I loved that one that, you sold while I was out of town, or I mean, just the organization ideas that we got from that house. The people were so fun on both ends.
Yeah. I think it's cool to see how people live. And I think I pull a lot of really great ideas from that. Like that house. Like I remembered you sent me some pictures. She was happy to like share all of the details of her organized life. And
I mean, she could have been a designer.
Yeah.
Or a house organizer. She was so good.
So I like that, getting that glimpse.
I thought it was really funny how the whole house showed just perfectly. And then you go to the husband's office and you could tell that she wasn't really allowed in there.
Yeah. It wasn't her space anyways. Like it's hard to get everybody on the same page, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I like that about it too. Like you get to see personalities come through a little bit, and not every showing is the same.
No. Not everyone cares about organization and clean house, but
no, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not that way, no judgment from me. I just really do feed off of that a little bit. Like I could look at a home organization book all day. All day.
I have a question. Were you like that as a kid?
Yes.
Yes?
I was. So I used to organize things for my mom, and I'd make my brother and sister clean their room, and I'd organize their rooms for them. My mom always said she thought I was going to be an organizer.
Wow.
My
daughter, when she wants to, like, she has everything color coordinated in her closet, perfectly folded. She does the Marie Kondo, and she's never Marie Kondo folding.
Marie Kondo,
and she's never seen any of that. Like she just came up with it herself.
Yeah.
But then there's other days when it's a complete mess. But she's got a smaller room and a bunch of stuff in it. So.
Hey, if she's starting that now and has a little bit of that,
she'll be set. Lot
of
it. I'll walk in and her bed's made. She's got her candle. Everything is beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I'm like, you're my child.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up like that, and I think that's why I like I said, that's why I like showing these houses and seeing how other people do things, because that's where I get some really good ideas. I worked for someone for a long time who's very organized and meticulous. And I loved it. I took so many things from that time and use them now.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. The last thing on my list of what I love about real estate is I like the education bit, like helping my clients feel educated and getting the, satisfaction of anything's on a good note. That's important to me. And then, making friends along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and it's so, every deal is different, and there's problems to solve in every single one. And I like, getting through the hard things with people, and just the relationship that you end up with coming out of those things.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about how many houses we were having to show when inventory was so low, and how many offers we were having to put in, and how it's changed a lot now. But when I look back on that time, like, you know what? I had some like weekend buddies that I would show like every weekend. And like, sometimes I think about them like, oh, I need to text them. I miss them a little bit, because I just spent so much time with them.
Yeah.
So, and I think that still can be true. We spend a lot of time with these people and get to know them.
Yeah, yeah. And I've had people say, well, what now? I'm going to miss you.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It was especially true when we were showing a lot of houses. Yeah. But it's still that way.
I agree.
Okay, so what do you like to do for fun?
Well, we have a boat. So I love going on Lake Austin and going surfing, and I drive the boat a lot. I don't get in every time like this last weekend. It's gotten a little cold. It's
Yep.
end of October. So I'm afraid my days might be gone for a little while, but I'll drive for a few more months or however long they want to go.
Yeah.
And then back in the spring, I'll get back in. But yeah,
Okay.
I love being on Lake Austin and with my family. And then, we go hiking sometimes. We used to more, I guess, now that we have the boat. And then
Yeah.
traveling. We love traveling, and I'm a big scuba diver. Now my whole family scuba dives. We also love going to the mountains. We go to Colorado a lot. We go skiing as a family, and we just like being active outdoors.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like we're similar in that we love being on the lake too.
Yeah.
And going out on the boat. And then we also like to travel right now because we have little kids. I feel like it's traveling close by, or we do road trip sometimes. My husband's family is out of state, so
Yeah.
we're driving out of state sometimes. And then besides that, we're car people and we love our cars. We're, usually doing something, a car project or at a car event or hosting a car show. Yesterday, my husband put up cones in our driveway or our front of our house on the street. We live in a quiet cul-de-sac, and our son was in his little battery-powered car doing a little track with the cones and going around the cones.
I love it.
So that's the kind of stuff that we're doing lately.
Yeah.
But we also have a 1 and 4-year-old, so
That's fun.
lots of things like that. Besides that, like myself, without my kids, I love true crime, so I'm in a true crime book club.
I don't know how you have time for any books.
I mean, I hope none of my fellow book clubbers listen to this, but I don't always finish every single book.
Well, at least you get started.
I do. And if I don't finish, like, I'll go find a documentary or something. Right now, our book is 600 pages. And we're meeting on Saturday.
For a month? Like every month you do this? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm not doing so great on this book, but it's a really big book.
Yeah.
I pulled it out of the package and I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to finish this book.
That's amazing. Good for you.
I'm trying.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned you have little ones. I guess I didn't mention mine are teenagers.
Yeah.
So my son started Westlake High School and plays football there. And my daughter is in 8th grade.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's weird to think about the finish line. I never used to think that way at all. And now it's like they're going to be gone in 4 to 5 years. And it's wild to be able to put that short of a time frame on it.
Yeah.
4.5.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you going to do? Empty nesters.
No idea. I'm going to be sad. I don't think they will. I hope they're not. But.
Right. And then they'll stay and you're like, okay, leave now.
Yeah. I don't think they'll stay. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my life is different right now with the 1 and 4-year-old.
Yep. It's fun. It's all fun times.
It is. Yeah.
Challenging for different reasons, but fun.
Yeah. Right now we're in the stage with my 1-year-old of like, he's opening every cabinet and drawer, and I didn't have to baby proof with my first. He was just
different
not into things as much and didn't, he listened better, I guess, maybe. But Paxton is like very determined to get into everything. If I tell him no, he's like,
forget you.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe I have to get into baby proofing. I'm not.
Probably so. If you don't want to.
It's like I'm following him around all the time.
Yeah. You need a baby proof, it sounds like. We both work at Realty Austin, which is our broker. We oftentimes both attend consultations and start our client relationships jointly. We want our clients to feel comfortable working with both of us. We're available for calls and emails, and we lean on each other's areas of expertise, giving our clients a unique experience.
I feel like it's a lot different than, my past experiences working with clients, because it's been helpful to say, I don't have a lot of building experience, but I have someone that does, and you're right there that I can call on, and, and vice versa. There are things that
we definitely tag team.
That's been really nice. So that's a little bit about how we work together. And
and like if I'm unavailable to do a showing, like you do it, and vice versa.
Yeah, so, and it feels like
we can leverage ourselves out.
Yeah,
so and our clients be more available. Lost. Right.
I think it's important in our markets, and it's helpful for our clients too.
Yeah, we've said you get 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. We're so excited to bring you this podcast. Our goal is to provide you with education to help you in various stages of your real estate journey. You can expect to hear from homeowners and industry professionals in future episodes, from real estate purchasing, selling, or investing to how to take care of your property or update it once you have it.
While we'll be sharing some Austin lifestyle things for our local listeners or those thinking about moving to Austin, there will be something here for everyone. Even if you don't live in Texas, you'll also be able to view most episodes on YouTube if you'd rather watch. Happy you're here, and we hope you'll join us for future episodes.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have a real estate question you'd like for us to answer, all of our contact information is in the show notes. If you aren't in the Austin area and need to be connected with a real estate professional where you are, we can help with that too, so send us a message.
We're located in the Austin area and licensed in Texas under Realty Austin. While some of this information could apply to where you live, be sure and talk to a local agent in your area. Visit the show notes for more information and additional disclosures.